In the past, many of us associated getting braces with uncomfortable orthodontist visits and long treatment times. Well, luckily, things are more comfortable and quicker now when it comes to modern brace technology. Today, we have Dr. Kevin Knapp with us from Knapp Orthodontics, the sponsor of this segment, and you are joining us today to talk about all the advancements. I remember having braces.
Yes, yes. So braces today are much different than the braces we grew up with. They're a lot more comfortable, they're a lot more efficient, the treatment times are quicker, you're spending less time in the office, and we really have technology to thank for that. And so I'd love to show you some of the technology we're incorporating into our office that makes this process more comfortable and just more fun.
Yeah, I love that. And like you said, when you and I, because we're about the same age, when we had braces, it was much different. You were constantly going to the orthodontist, you were constantly getting those braces tightened, and it really wasn't a pleasurable experience. It wasn't that much fun, but you knew the outcome was going to be fun, and so you kind of stuck with it. But now, patients are seeing the exact opposite. Yeah,
so we have a lot of fun in office, and we have a lot of fun at our appointments because they're simpler, they're more comfortable, and we've really kind of honed in on how to make those appointments efficient for our patients. And so, I brought some models and some kind of show and tell.
I love it.
To go over with us.
Okay. So let's talk about this first one here because this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun.
Customize the colors and make it more personable.
Yeah, so those are clear braces, but one of the nice things about clear braces, and one of the reasons a lot of kids pick clear braces, is because they want to show off the colors. And so they can actually pick clear braces, but then they can pick all the fun colors each and every time they're in. And so a lot of kids will choose clear because they want to show their colors off. And some cool things about the clear braces we're using today is that they don't stain. So the old clear braces used to be made from plastic, and they would pick up stain over time, whether it was like mustard or ketchup or coffee or tea, the braces would stain. Now we have clear braces that are actually made from a really fancy glass material that does not pick up any stain. So they say crystal clear throughout treatment. Kind
of like a polycarbonate maybe.
Yeah, it's a polycrystalline, material, exactly.
Nice, and I think about kids doing their school colors, like how cool is that?
Oh yeah.
You'd be the cool kid, right?
Yeah, exactly, people pick the, school colors, holidays, all kinds of fun stuff. But the clear braces are also a lot more comfortable than they used to be. They're polished, they're smooth. Actually, those are the better version of the clear braces that I wore when I was in my 20s. So they're just, it's a great tool.
Okay, so moving down the line, what are we seeing here? Because these look like just traditional braces, but they're clear.
Right, exactly. So these are the actually the exact same clear braces as on the left, but these don't have colors on them. So if the child's in maybe like an older, maybe in high school, and they were looking for a more aesthetic, more kind of blend in, then they can use the clear braces but not put colors on them and keep them clear. Also good for maybe like proms or formals or family pictures, so they don't have to have the colors on them all the time. They can keep it clear. Sometimes I'll call those like my Instagram or my Facebook braces because if you take a picture, you take a selfie, you post it, you can't see the braces in it, and so that's how I'll talk about those.
Okay, so I want to jump down a little bit because you had mentioned earlier that it's less time at the office, and that's partially because of not only your team is just great at what they do, but it's also because of the technology within the braces now that are much different than what we had.
Yeah, that's right, Jordan. So braces used to be where the brace, every single brace that went on every single tooth was exactly the same. Now, each brace is specifically designed for the tooth that it's going to go on. So I couldn't put a brace that goes on the upper right front tooth. I couldn't put that brace on the upper left front tooth. That's because all the little bends that the orthodontist used to have to put into the wire, all those little bends now are actually built into the brace. Kind of wild to think about. Pretty cool. So we call that 3D control. So 3D control is built into the brace. that makes the appointment much quicker because the orthodontist doesn't have to sit there and do the bends, all right? The other thing that's really cool is with the braces that we use, they come in these individual packets, and when we open them up, we're gonna see, I'm gonna pull this one out. This is a clear brace.
Okay.
Let's see, that is really little.
Really tiny.
Really
okay.
tiny, right? But it's in there. And actually the glue is built into the back side of that brace. So we used to have to mix up the glue, and we used to have to
Which
wait.
take more time.
Yeah, more time. And we used to have to, so you'd be sitting there with your mouth open while we mix the glue up. But now the glue is actually built into the back of the brace, and we can put the brace right onto the tooth, and then we use our fancy light. Takes 3 seconds, that's it. That's it, and now that brace is on the tooth. So that's how fast and easy it is to get a brace onto a tooth. So a lot of people come in and they ask us, hey, how long is it gonna take to get braces on? Yeah. And my response is, well, we always schedule an hour, but most of that hour is actually going over education, how to keep the braces clean, what to eat. Very little of that time is actually getting the braces on. So really quick, really efficient, really easy, really comfortable to get braces on.
Yeah, and you're really there every step of the way for a patient, because usually when a teenager, a child comes in for braces, this is the first time they've ever experienced something like this. And so to explain that, to educate not only the patient but their parent, that's a big part of the process as well. So I do want you to pick up the wire there, because you mentioned that earlier to me before we came out to our broadcast, and there's a huge difference between the before and then what you use now. Yeah,
so this is a traditional orthodontic wire that we grew up with the orthodontists using. And the reason they used these was so they could put all those bends into the wire. This is made from stainless steel, and it's really rigid, and it is really stiff. That means there's a lot of force going onto the teeth. That force was what made it uncomfortable. So what we'll do is we'll take it, and you can see if I just bend it, we can see that bend stays in the wire. That's what orthodontists used to need. The problem with that bend is that it puts a lot of force onto the tooth, and that's what made it uncomfortable. The wires we use nowadays are actually titanium alloys, and these wires were actually developed by NASA to shoot satellites into space. And so they would take a satellite and they would crumble it up into a ball, and they'd shoot it into space, and then they'd have the satellite expand. And so the really cool things about these wires is we can actually take this wire, I can put it in a complete knot, complete pretzel there, and then I can actually take it apart, and it goes back to the original shape that it was in. So these wires put very little force onto the teeth, but it's consistent force that makes the braces much more comfortable, much more efficient, and just a much more pleasurable experience for the child.
Yeah, and this is technology that you use at your office, but not every orthodontist does. So if people would like more information, I know you are taking new patients. What do people need to do? Yeah, so our website is a great spot. You can go onto our website and you can schedule directly online if that's something you like to do. You can pick your date and your time. You can put in some general information, really easy to do there. Or if you like to pick up the phone and talk to someone, you can give our number a call. One of our team members would be happy to get you scheduled to come on in. Yeah, that first appointment is great. We do complimentary consultations, and we'll take films, photos, come up with a plan that fits your lifestyle and addresses your goals. Yeah, awesome, awesome information. Always a pleasure. Yeah, thanks Jordan. Thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely.